In an effort to point out the absurdity of Texas's anti-abortion law, which bans abortions past 6 weeks, effectively banning abortions altogether, state lawmakers in Illinois decided to propose their own legislation. And of course, the point here is to just show how absurd Texas really is, because they structured their legislation in a very similar way to that of Texas. So the Texas Act, modeled after the controversial abortion law in Texas, also would allow lawsuits against anyone who aids or abets pregnancies. As with the Texas law, this would include anyone from from an Uber driver to a bartender, but the Illinois version has a special twist. So understand what's happening, okay? They are saying, well, look, if people can sue someone who aids and abets an abortion in Texas, well, we're gonna write legislation that can sue an individual who contributes to an unintended pregnancy. Now it's ridiculous, but it's a way of, maybe placing the blame on the man who participated in that act. Obviously, they don't think this is gonna go anywhere, but they're trying to make a point. So if the litigant wins their lawsuit against the person causing the unwanted pregnancy, they are entitled to $10,000. Half of the money would be placed in a state fund meant to pay for abortions for people in Texas who can't get them in their home state, which I love, which I love. It's so good. Now, remember, there are wealthier people in Texas who might experience an unintended pregnancy, an unwanted pregnancy. They can hop on a plane, hop on a train, jump in an automobile, head over to another state.
Zeppelin.
Private jet, right?
Hyperloop.
Hit up Copeland, right? See if he'll let you borrow one of his many private jets. And you can jet on over to California, or a state that has lenient, abortion laws, and get your abortion. But women,
or I'd say constitutional abortion laws.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Constitutional abortion laws, perfect way of putting it. But for, poor women, especially women of color, like that's gonna be the group that's most impacted by this anti-abortion law. They don't have that option. So here they're trying to make a point about that by saying, we'll have an abortion fund. Now again, they don't think this is really gonna pass. They're trying to make a point. And to be sure, you have anti-choice activists saying things like, this allows women to seek damages if they become pregnant after consensual sex. The fact that it's always about the woman, right? Like, we need to punish the women. The fact that they will be taking money from people to fund abortion makes it completely unserious. That was the rest of the quote, so.
Yeah, and that was, can we bring up that last graphic actually? I still wanted to see it was Amy something, Amy Gerke, yeah. Yeah, it makes me sad. If I was, if I was a lizard-brained conservative man, God, it's such a sweet thing that men have been able to set up, that like some of the foremost warriors trying to stop women from having any rights or women. It's amazing work that conservative men have put in over the decades.
Yep.
It just makes me sad though. And this whole story makes me sad. I'm gonna be, I guess, kind of a Debbie Downer. The one part I do like about it is that they went the extra step of, and we're literally gonna set up a fund that pays for Texan abortions, because that's just like, well, ow, I get what you're doing. I like that they're trying to show that it's hypocritical. Hey, if you guys do that, we can do this. I like it, but it's similar to the sort of waste of time that we do all the time of, trying to point out historical context or point out hypocrisy. It's necessary, but at a certain point, don't you just want our side to have like an ounce of power instead? Instead of having the high ground, the moral position, logic on our side. Those things are nice, but they don't pass laws.
Yeah.
And I just get so sick of it, that we do all this work, rhetorical work on the ground, activists, organizing, getting candidates, getting people to go vote, and then, Cinnamon Mansion. Oh well, see you in 8 years, I guess. I just get so sick of it. Of clever pieces of legislation and clever op-eds. I'm sick of clever. I just want our side to have some power.
No, I get it, but our side won't have power unless we're organized. It's just, we've been at this point, maybe not, well, we have been at this point with abortion, but in terms of the powerlessness that we're feeling right now, especially with like this new gilded age that we find ourselves in, we don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? Like the reason why great policies were implemented, look, there were flaws in some of these policies as well, but some of the greatest policies that were implemented under FDR weren't done because FDR was just a great guy. There was a lot of pressure by organized labor to get it done. That's the only area where we really have power, right?
And the cost was that it extended the Great Depression for decades. But yeah,
he doesn't actually think that. He doesn't actually think that. Ben Shapiro thinks that, which is insane.
God. Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.